so I have already moisturized my face and done my skincare. I'm currently using Curology, so really all I use is Dermalogica, just a face wash, and then I use just a moisturizer, and then I apply Curology every night. And that's been my routine, and it's working wonders. If you follow me on Instagram, I'm about to post my like 3-week update or whatever. And I think you guys will be pretty shocked because it's some major improvement. So I never thought I would be a Curology person, but I'm becoming one slowly but surely. Also, a little update, I got a little puppy. I haven't named him yet. Here he is. Hello. He's very cute. He was homeless for a couple of weeks and my mom was feeding him and kind of half taking care of him, half waiting to see if the owners would show up. He's shy, but and then I just went over today and she was like, I have this dog and I don't really think I can keep it and no one's claiming it, so, and I took him and I haven't named him yet. So if you have any ideas, drop one down below. This Get Ready With Me is already gonna be too long, I know it, because I talk too much. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start by priming the face. I'm just going to be using this Glow Skin and Beauty that I got while I was in beauty school. And it's just like a silicone primer, which I'm sure isn't the best for your skin, but I have texture like a MRFer, so I have to do this. At least right now. My acne just seems to be very like textured, like maybe not as red as how it was, but it's still very textured, which is kind of annoying because I love doing my makeup and so it just doesn't sit the same, you know, but that's okay. We're working with it. We got a skincare routine. We'll get through it. It'll be okay. And then I'm gonna follow up with the Bare With Me foundation by NYX. I really like this foundation. I've been using it for a long time. I'm using Pale Light is my color, which it's honestly a little too pale, which is why I have a little darker of a concealer. So we're gonna have to follow up with that. And for brushes, for my brush, I'm using this Real Techniques, just like this plain buffing brush. They're my favorite to use with foundation because I have this just like flat top and I feel like it doesn't absorb like a beauty blender does. Sometimes a beauty blender can give you a really pretty finish, but I've just always been a brush kind of person, so too late to turn back now. My mirror's dirty. Just gonna start by building coverage on my face. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're gonna cover up with some concealer. This is a very light coverage foundation, which is kind of nice. You don't sweat it off, especially since Thanksgiving is tomorrow. We all know we're gonna be nervous. My neighbor and her fire alarm again. We both do it though. Our fire alarms are super sensitive at my apartment and I kind of can't stand it. Does anyone else have that problem? It is a studio apartment, so you can't really blame it. No matter what you do, if you light a candle, the fire alarm goes off. That's like how sensitive it is, which is kind of awful. This foundation blends pretty well. I love it. And it's just a nice wash of color to get the redness away, and then you follow up with some concealer. I put my hair back in clips because there's no way I'm gonna have it out while I'm doing. We're gonna follow up with this e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. First of all, very awesome that e.l.f. has so many different products, because I remember when I was younger, they just had like one concealer and it was one color and that was it. And it had the teeniest, tiniest doe foot, like the teeniest, tiny. It's kid makeup size. And now this is like giant. Feels so luxurious. I love this product. They have a full coverage one. I think that's like, it might be matte, correct me if I'm wrong, but I like this one because I find I get dry patches around my little acne spots, funny enough. So this kind of keeps it from looking gross and textured. And I'm not going to be super specific because my foundation's kind of light anyway, so I'm just going to try to blend it in a little bit to get the color matched out. And I'm using the same buffing brush from Real Techniques as before. And we're just going to go ahead and try to stamp it in place. Like when you wipe away the product, you actually wipe away the pigment of the product. Now that we've done the concealer and the foundation, we're gonna follow up with some powder, and then we'll start with the eye look. So I'm just choosing any all over face brush. Sit down, buddy. I gotta do my makeup. Anyway, so I'm using Coty Airspun powder. You can find it at Walmart. It has the orange cap, but really any powder will do. I really don't ever get specific about powders, really. I think the cheaper the better, and this stuff lasts you forever, so. But I'm just doing a light veil on my face, going under the eyes a little bit, and if you see creasing before you powder it, go ahead and press that creasing out. That way we don't press the creasing into your skin and you look like your foundation is not right and it's cakey. Okay. So now that we did that, we are gonna go ahead and do bronzer. What are your guys' Thanksgiving plans? With COVID, I know it's really weird because, you know, you feel guilty for not seeing your family, but you also feel guilty for putting other people in like danger of a pandemic. So it's like such a weird situation. 2020 has been so weird and sucky, but we're getting through it together, thank God. My plans, I'm going to see my dad and my sister. They're in my inner circle, and I see them often. You know, you have a couple people you just happen to see often. I see them often, so we're doing a little Thanksgiving, and I'm bringing sweet potato marshmallows, and my dad made me laugh yesterday when I told him what I was bringing, because he goes, listen to how she said it. She said sweet potato marshmallows and not marshmallow sweet potatoes, because there's definitely going to be more marshmallows to sweet potatoes, and that's how it should be. I'm a huge sweet fiend. I love sweets. I love candy. I have a huge candy jar in my house at all times. When people come over and they eat out of it, I sometimes even like think, oh my gosh, they're eating the candy I'm supposed to be eating later, but it's okay. Generosity, Thanksgiving, we're trying to be nice, you know. I'm a Scorpio, so sometimes I don't come off very nice, but I swear I have like, my dog's freaking out because my neighbor's fire alarm, I'm sorry. But we went ahead and finished the bronzer. Back to what I was saying, I'm a Scorpio, and a lot of people, I feel like they either vibe with me really well or they don't at all, and I think that's definitely because of my sign. I know some people don't believe in it. I think they're kind of entertaining and sometimes they make sense. So basically, I was reading into my co-star, and this week it was basically don't find joy in familiarity, which I thought was like super powerful in my life, since I love doing things that I am good at. I love not branching out, and even just starting this YouTube channel, it was a big step. I was thinking about it for a long time because I was just like, I want to do this, but I'm nervous because I've just never done anything like it before. But I did it, and so I feel like my co-star is trying to tell me something. You don't want to have like a yellow shadow or something and then boom, never coming off. So we're gonna make sure to be prepared for the work. Today I think we're gonna play with the Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon ColourPop palette. It is literally so cute. I don't know if you can see that. Adorable. I've always watched anime. It's actually like a big part of my life. I think it's the coolest thing ever. My older brother introduced it to me and my friend India from high school, and ever since then I just thought it was like the cutest thing. I loved it, and I still watch it to this day. So my sister got me this for an early Christmas gift, and I freaked out. Even though I haven't even seen all of Sailor Moon, I've watched some of it, but the colors are just so cute. And they are very pigmented. I did a look on my Instagram with it and it was just astounding how pigmented they were. So I want to play with it one more time, do something simple maybe, and we'll see how it turns out a little bit. And I think I want to do kind of a campy look today. I think that's the word. Don't judge me if it's not. Something like that. We'll see what it turns out like. You never know. But we'll go ahead and start by forming a really rounded crease. You don't want to flick it out at all. Just make sure it's a very oval shape on your eye. You can go above your crease if you want, if you have really hooded. Moon castle right up in this corner. And we're just going to carve out the crease a little bit. And I think I want to do kind of a campy look today. I think that's the word. Don't judge me if it's not. Something like that. We'll see what it turns out like. You never know. But we'll go ahead and start by forming a really rounded crease. You don't want to flick it out at all. Just make sure it's a very oval shape on your eye. You can go above your crease if you want, if you have really hooded eyes. I kind of start with like a flat, almost like a flat brush, but it's almost still a blending brush. And just like press that color and almost draw that line that you want. And while you're drawing the line, you will be blending up. I don't know if you can see that better, hopefully. But, so I went and put that moonchild into the crease in a very circular, like, edge to it. Don't flick it out at all. And then now we're gonna take Miracle Romance, which is this purple right here. And we're gonna just do the exact same thing and just trace out that line and buff it out. I feel like Thanksgiving is gonna go really good for me since it is just my dad and my sister and like my close family. I do better in that kind of a situation than like a big crowd. Even though I feel like I love to be like sociable around people I am super close to. If it's a group of 2 or 3, I'll be like the loudest in the room sometimes because I get so excitable. But for some reason, when it comes to like family gatherings or anything like that, I get so nervous because I'm just like, I just feel like I have to impress people for some reason. Not even like impress, but just I feel like they're wondering like, what's she doing? You know what I mean? So, and I bet a lot of people feel the same way, and that's exactly why they don't go to their family's Thanksgivings. But I love my family. I'm a big family person, as much as like I argue with my little sister. She at the same time helps me so much. She's like iconic, literally. And so it'll be a good Thanksgiving for me. I think our dinner plans are turkey, green bean casserole, mashed potatoes, sweet potatoes, pumpkin pie, and my dad's apple pie. And then probably like a salad, but let's be honest, we don't actually eat the salad. It's just there to be like nice and appropriate. So now that we did that, we're gonna go ahead and take some concealer and press it on the lid and kind of carve it out. Just a little dot, and then we'll get just like a little flat concealer brush, whatever you want to do to blend it out, and just go ahead, dot that out. So go ahead and pat that on there and just fill the whole concealer shape that we made. But yeah, so I listen to podcasts on YouTube, which is like fake podcast listening, really. It's you watch them do the podcast while they're, you know, podcasting. But my favorite podcast right now is The Sip with Ryland Adams and Lizzie Gordon. And Lizzie is so freaking relatable. That's why I love her. And Ryland's also like a bougie king, and I just love him for that. I think they talk about really like funny random topics, but they also kind of talk current events, which keeps you updated, and online events, which is funny, like TikTok drama sometimes, which sometimes you have to like indulge yourself to look into sometimes. But besides that, I watch the H3 podcast with Ethan, and I think he's super funny. Him and his wife are cute, and Trisha Paytas is like an icon. She is just like an icon of YouTube, so we love her, we stan. And I watched them. They just did their Thanksgiving episode, and I thought it was pretty funny. But I don't watch like profound podcasts. I probably should, or listen to profound podcasts. I just like pick the funniest ones that I can find, because that's just something controversial. Is I actually didn't like podcasts for a long time because I just didn't have time really to like sit and listen to something. But once I started finding them on YouTube, then I just started watching them, because you sit and you just watch them in bed, and all of a sudden you've watched an hour-long podcast, and it's just like, where did my day go? And I'm gonna blend these two together just with like a fluffy brush to make sure they look a little seamless. I have a cat named Maneki. He responds to whistling. I won't do it on camera because it'll be annoying, but it is the most clever thing, and I just love that about him. He's on the counter right now, even though he shouldn't be. But I feel like people who really like cats and really own cats, they say that, but they don't really care if their cat gets on the counter, because it's like, I love my cat. I don't really care, As much as I wish he wasn't on the counter, he's on the counter. That's how I kind of think of it. I watch a lot of like murder mystery movies and stuff like that. I think they're so interesting, and I will follow them along and try to like guess who I think it is. But lately I've been laughing at myself because I can't watch like a actual horror movie. They scare me too much. I just think they're like inviting an evil spirit into my like vicinity, and it's just not my vibe. I don't want any evil spirits. But for some reason, when it comes to like murder cases and stuff like that, I'm like, I'm down. Like, let's sit down for an hour and watch this. Pop some popcorn. I just love it so much, I can't. So I'm trying to do like an underwing type situation to make it look kind of graphic, not in a bad way, but so let's go ahead and follow the lower lash line up. Cute, sort of. And then go ahead and line the top. And try to make sure that the lashes look dark, like in between, because we don't want a gap in between the liner, which happens to the best of us. I love this. I keep looking at it like there's a mirror. Just FYI, there's not a mirror in this palette, which kind of sucks. I can't even pronounce it, and I'm scared I'm gonna pronounce it wrong. Is that stupid? Mare Serenitatis. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce it, and I'm like stupid and illiterate, I guess, but I actually don't know. But I'm gonna take it. It's a glitter, but I think it'd be fun around the lower lash line to kind of brighten it up. I read a lot of books, not very interesting, but or at least I used to. Isn't that the meme? Like, this isn't the brain that used to read 400-page books. This isn't the brain. It's not the same brain. My brows are pretty, well, I don't know. You tell me. I feel like they're thick, but sometimes I feel like they're thin. Is that kind of like a normal range of emotions for people? Because I feel like it is for me. Am I still recording? Yep. And I'm just gonna start by lining the bottom of the eye. And then I'm gonna go through and put some hair strokes in there. That new puppy I got, he is pretty quiet, but I mean, he's barked a couple times, so maybe not. But so far so good. He seems to be adapting well. Maneki is actually pretty nice with dogs. as long as the dog like isn't crazy. So now I'm gonna brush out with the spoolie, by the way. This dog seems to mind his own space a little bit more than the other dogs Manecki's met in the past. So I think it goes much better. 2020's really been a year of cleansing for me, guys, because I've lost so many things but also gained so much more. I have my own place and I have a cat now, and I just got a dog, and I've lost, you know, friendships, and I've gained friendships. I've got a whole new job. I left my other job. Like, I know that sounds not very profound, but it's just been a crazy... Don't put your freaking germs on me. One brow always looks so much better than the other. Makes me so mad. But it's probably my skills. After this, I'm gonna be filming, I think, a painting video, because I got some new watercolors and stuff I want to try out, and I thought, why not? So hopefully you will be interested in that coming later. My cat! Hi! This is Manecki, everybody. Meow. He's a very sweet cat. He meows a lot. His name is Manecki Neko. And he's just the cutest. Aren't you? Brows. Trying to decide if I should clean them up, and I think we will for the sake of this video, because I know you guys would be unhappy if I had some sloppy ass brows. So I'm gonna just line up the top and just straighten it out, make it look like and then take that blending brush that you used earlier and just buff that out. Now let's start with highlighting. I got the Kylie Jenner pressed powder palette. This is the Kylie Jordan, not to bring scandals up, but the Kylie Jordan highlighting palette, which not even sure if she sells anymore, but it's a good one. Manecki's wanting attention. Yes, ma'am. It's actually a he, but I'm kind of bad at that. Now, should we go ahead and skip to lips? Let's see. I'm using a NYX Professional Makeup Slide On, Glide On, Stay On makeup pencil in the shade Nude Suede Shoes. I feel like after you pop the lash on, it all makes sense. So hopefully this will all make sense after we pop the lash on. I'm actually gonna probably do the lower lashes again, because they're cute. I think easier and cuter than the top lashes. I don't want to spit. Just like that. Like how freaking easy. So cute. Makes you look profesh. And really, it's like the easiest thing in the world. Hoping this looks okay. You know when you do makeup and then you're like halfway through it and you're just not even sure anymore? But we'll see. I play video game wise. I've been playing Slime Rancher on my PS4 a lot. It's kind of way more complicated than people give it credit for. Like, I'm shook, guys. Like, there's a whole freaking game there. And it's not just collecting slimes and selling them. Like, there's the lab, and there's so many different... Me and my friend just did the gold plort vaults. And those, you just, like, go find them through a teleporter, and then you are at these, like, vaults with a bunch of like things that you shoot. They shoot out gold plorts when you see them and like initiate them. So they shoot out these gold plorts, and like the first one had not very many. The second one had a ton, and then the third one we went to, it had just like the medium amount, just like the Goldilocks bears or whatever. But it was so nice, and in a way sad, because I felt like it was going to be the last time that I would ever see that many gold plorts again. So we put some in the science place because you might need them to make like gold depots, who knows, those like warp depots that like send things from place to place. So I kept some gold ones just in case I wanted to make those, even though honestly I haven't even used those that much. Like I was gonna use some kind of contraption like that to start making my plort selling easier and making like the getting the food part easier, but it just seemed so complicated that I just ended up going for doing it myself pretty much. And I've been kind of trying to influence the market a little bit, which has been kind of interesting. It doesn't seem to work the best. Like I saw on a Reddit thread that you can't even influence the market at all, so who knows if you can or not, but I think we've been kind of doing it. It's you sell like 2 or 3 plorts at a time, like rock plorts, crystal, and something else, and then those will go down in the plort market, and then you sell 3 other slimes and 3 other slimes, and during the cycle you end up bringing the first 3 you sold up by the time you go sell them again, is the idea. So I got some bottom lashes on, by the way. They look cute. Let's go ahead and curl our top lashes. So, I mean, it's a really good game. There's like a lot to it, a lot of secret maps, things you don't even think you know. You think you know everything and then you don't. Like, I thought I had all the different slimes, but no. There were like 1,000 more, of course. My dog's finally eating. From the first time that I brought him home, he's finally eating, thank God. I figured it'd be best to just like leave him alone, let him get adapted, so I haven't been bothering him much, pretty much at all. Now we're doing some Glow Beauty Mascara. Anything will work just fine. Let me know how you like these Get Ready With Me's. I think they're kind of fun, almost therapeutic for me to talk through doing my makeup. Even if no one watches this, it's more of a mental sanity thing for me. I have too much to say and not enough, I guess. Go ahead and do the lower ones because you don't want it to look like you have, I mean, you want it to look like you have falsies, but you also want it to blend in with your actual lashes. I love to bake. Does anybody love to bake on here? If you ever wanted to see me bake something. I like to bake cookies the most, just because I think they're satisfying having these little individual pieces and you don't have to cut anything, like it's just quick. But I think I make some pretty cakes, not gonna lie. I have this Bobbi Brown Instant Pretty Eye and Cheek palette. It's kind of cute because it has like a little 4 quad and then it has a blush. So if you're traveling, I like to bring this with me because it's just convenient where I put this, because I want to really accentuate where I'm putting it and be dramatic, and just like circle around the nose and bring it back. And I just kind of keep building until it's noticeable because I love freaking blush. I think it just makes everyone look so cute. It's like my vibe. But with some Kylie Jenner lip gloss in cinnamon. This stuff is pigmented. It's basically a lipstick. So, that's about as perfect as it's gonna get. So, but okay, so let me go ahead and let my hair down and then we'll see the finished look. Here's the finished look. I think it's kind of cute.